Darkness itself knows and fears your light because you are so selected. A spiritual audit that surpasses any human probe is now being conducted on the corporation that nurtured this malfeasance. They fail at every transaction they make. Every project they start ends in failure. Every talent they attempt to hire flees. On a scale not covered in business schools, they're dealing with corporate karma. Their accountants are unable to describe how the spiritual infection has affected their bottom line. Your stalker's spiral into insanity is becoming worse. They are now bearing the full consequences of their actions, not just toward you, but also toward everyone they have exploited and mistreated. Like ghosts, the employee identities they stole are calling for justice. Their embezzled wealth bound them like chains. The power they misused has turned into an unremovable crown of thorns. Despite their best efforts, everyone they come into touch with is aware of the gloom around them. The existence of spiritual topics causes discomfort even for those who do not believe in them. Anyone with even a glimmer of light in them finds them energetically repugnant. They have made the seclusion they attempted to force upon you their permanent reality. Even horrible, however, is the loneliness that reverberates from their transgressions. The information that was disclosed about you has completely changed. You are now benefiting from information that was intended to hurt you. What should have been embarrassing secrets have become testaments to your resilience. Your tenacity has been shown by the private information that was used against you. In their own hands, the ammo they collected has detonated. Everything they attempted to steal from you is coming back to you in greater quantities as you approach this phase. Dramatically increased, not only doubled or quadrupled. Bigger chances have emerged from the ones they blocked. They have strengthened the links in the relationships they destroyed. Their attempted theft of resources has materialized as a plentiful flow from unanticipated sources. The security that surrounds you has advanced to the point that it is almost predictive. Threats are eliminated before they have a chance to develop. Before they're launched, attacks are deflected. Any malicious purpose against you is stopped before it can escape the sender's head. You are essentially untouchable because you are in a posture of preemptive divine protection. Even if the specifics are still being worked out, your goal for the future is obvious. Helping those who are going through what you went through is your purpose. To reveal these covert activities wherever they may be found. To educate individuals in identifying and preventing corporate spiritual warfare. To provide as tangible evidence that those who are selected can only be improved, not destroyed. Your stalker's hereditary family business of corruption is coming to an end. They are breaking the generational curses that drove their enterprises. They are losing the strongholds that have shielded them for so long. You didn't just make it through an assault. You put a stop to a dark lineage that had been active for many generations. Spiritual awakenings are occurring for some of the workers who were unwittingly involved in these activities. They are becoming aware that they were a part of something much more significant and sinister than they had previously realized. By disclosing what they know, some people are trying to find atonement. Others are devoting their lives to shielding others from the same kind of mistreatment. Eventually, no company will be allowed to operate in the building where all of this took place. There is too much spiritual defilement. Electronics will keep breaking down. Workers will keep getting sick. The corruption that was let to grow there is being rejected by the foundation itself. It will turn into one of those enigmatic buildings that no one wants to rent or own. Your energy signature has turned into a lighthouse for those on comparable journeys. You're attracting souls that need the knowledge you've acquired without even trying. Just by being there, you're assisting others in escaping their own circumstances and stalkers. For those who are being attacked spiritually, you have turned into a walking haven. The offenders are unaware of the methods in which the record of what transpired is being maintained. Every transaction, communication, and fake document has been stored in dimensions they are unable to access. All of this data will come to light in ways that will make denial untenable when the moment is perfect. Divine justice maintains perfect records. Right now, your stalker is going through what can only be called existential horror. The actual nature of what they allied themselves with is becoming apparent to them. They were being used by the very things they believed to be on their side. They were being possessed by the power they believed they had. They were really enslaved, and the control they believed they had was an illusion. Every move they do exacerbates the situation, despite their best efforts to mitigate the harm. Every falsehood they use to justify earlier falsehoods leads to further issues. Each plan to restore electricity costs them more energy than they already have. They have put themselves in a downward spiral. Additionally, there is no way out of karma in an emergency. The other members of their network who took part in these activities are quickly pulling away. Even the dishonest people understand that hanging around with your stalker is poisonous. By putting one another under the bus and attempting to rescue themselves, they are forming a mutually destructive firing squad. The network that used to attack you as a whole is now devouring itself. This experience has given you skills that most people wouldn't think you had. The capacity to detect monitoring before it occurs. The ability to dispel bad energy that is aimed at you. The ability to turn assaults into advantages. Metaphors are not what they are. By surviving what you suffered, you have literally gained these powers. Your tale is being used by the cosmos in ways you haven't yet thought about. Not as drama, but as documentation. Not as amusement, but as instruction. And not as victim testimonies, but as a winning tactic. Others are using your experience as a model to comprehend and get through comparable circumstances. The workers who were let go to avoid being prosecuted are beginning to realize what transpired. Some people are thankful they were taken out before things worsened. Others are upset at being taken advantage of. This encounter leaves an imprint on each of them that will affect their decisions going forward. Some will become anti-corruption fighters. Others will just be more selective about their employers. Any place is now actively purified by your presence. Environments are automatically cleansed of bad energy by the frequency you produce. Simply entering rooms, you energetically cleanse them like a strolling sage bundle. You don't need to do this intentionally. It's just the person you've become as a result of this change. The universe is paying interest to recover the financial resources that were utilized against you. Every penny spent on harassment, every dollar spent on monitoring, and every resource diverted for attack are all being totaled and will be repaid to you via unexpected avenues. Your remuneration plan is being drafted, and the universe is a very good accountant. Spiritual networks are disseminating the facts about what transpired more quickly than any physical contact could. The patterns are being recognized by other selected individuals. It is becoming clear to other targets that they are not alone. The knowledge that success is achievable is giving other survivors courage. Their hope lies in your victory. Although the family members of your stalker who made this possible are making an effort to remove themselves, physical isolation cannot break the spiritual ties. They must bear the repercussions of their actions. Each and every generation that profited from this corruption will contribute to its demise. Like mist and sunshine, the family wealth that was founded on darkness is vanishing. Certain types of karma are now showing up as a result of the precise strategies utilized against you. The impersonation, the leaked intelligence, and the identity theft. The identity of those who imitate others is being lost. Information leakers are having their personal secrets revealed. Identity thieves are going through existential disintegration. It is amazing how accurate divine justice is. You now stand as a master who has completed a rigorous course in spiritual combat, not as a victim who has survived. Although the certificate may not be tangible, the qualifications are indisputable. You've developed the ability to confront darkness without being devoured, to walk through fire without being scorched, and to be assaulted without being destroyed. You have changed into a person your stalker never expected you to be. There's simultaneous salvation and judgment. Your presence serves as a continual reminder of their options. Their proof of what they rejected is your achievement. In addition to exposing their darkness, your light is the only way for them to be saved should they ever decide to accept it. All of this culminates in the ideal irony. They lost themselves in their attempt to control you. They wrecked their own lives in an attempt to ruin yours. They ended up in total darkness after attempting to take your light. Through their meddling and preoccupation, they attempted to drive you insane, but instead, they drove themselves insane. Retaliation didn't need you to do anything. The fact that you were a chosen one was sufficient to cause everything they had constructed on false pretenses to fall apart. The message that follows is intended just for the selected. This is not for you if you're under the influence of archonic powers. And we give you permission to go based on the spiritual authority that the Obsidian Inner Order's hidden leaders have given us. If not, take a seat and pay close attention. Because just as we are redeemed, you will also be redeemed. There is no program for the Obsidian Inner Order. It's not a class. It's not a spiritual retreat that makes you feel wonderful. Answers are not what we sell. Together, we recall. We teach interference, implants, genuine energy shielding against beings, and psychic self-defense. We bring back the raw, instantaneous, and precise manifestation that was intended. We get together in private once a week to awaken and say things that cannot be uttered anyplace else, not to worship. If you're supposed to be there, you'll be able to deprogram the matrix layer by layer. Your bones will sense it. The selected group meets via Zoom once a week. Why don't you join us already? God Gnosis. Join the Inner Order of Obsidians. The description contains a link. This is your time to be fully validated. Through revelation, not retaliation. Through rising, not through combat. Through transcendence rather than hate. You are the chosen one who demonstrated that light triumphs over darkness. Regardless of how well-planned, well-resourced, or resolute it may be, your triumph is more than simply a personal one. It is ubiquitous. For every selected person who has ever been singled out, assaulted, or discredited by those who work in the shadows, it is a success. The quiet you're now feeling is not meaningless. It has a lot of promise. Your adversaries aren't reassembling. They're done. There is no halt in the conflict. It's finished. You didn't merely make it through their intrigue and infatuation. You turn it into a boost for yourself. Your empire is built on the same land where they attempted to bury you. You now have access to every resource they utilized against you. Every falsehood they spread about you has shown a reality about your strength. Greetings from your chosen reality. A world in which you are untouchable in addition to being protected. When you are a benefit to others in addition to being blessed yourself. Where you're proved, not merely picked. The cost of interfering with the chosen of God was the insanity they fell into. They were destroyed by their obsession. Their interference turned into insanity. And you turned into everything they were afraid you might be. Completely unstoppable, fully protected, and validated by God. The current state of affairs in your energy field is the most exquisite aspect of this whole story. You no longer need to speak. You are now a living example of divine justice. The tale of triumph against organized darkness is spoken by your frequency alone. When people meet you, they sense it. Something about your presence is unique, strong, and indestructible. You have the authority of someone who has been refined and refined into pure gold. This encounter has given you a priceless spiritual wisdom. Now, even the smallest trace of coordinated dishonesty may be detected from a great distance. You are able to identify institutional corruption trends before they become completely apparent. When someone is using inherited power instead of earned authority, you can tell. Your safety is not the only purpose of these discerning talents. Everyone in your zone of influence will be protected by them. The way your stalker is acting now is a warning to anybody else who may think about using similar strategies. In spiritual circles, they have become a living cautionary tale. The cosmos has created an example of them that resonates beyond realms, even if the majority are unaware of their name or face. When other predators consider pursuing someone like you, they get an unexplainable chill. Just by being in your position of authority, you have turned into a deterrent. The equilibrium between light and dark has changed only because of you. Your survival and change have rebalanced the balances that corruption had tilted for so long. You won more than simply a personal conflict. Selected 1. 12 separate shamans were shown your photo, and each one of them said, This soul is protected by something ancient. Some individuals have just got the scariest confirmation of their life. This operation took months to plan. 12 shamans on 12 continents, thousands of dollars, all because they wanted to know why you kept surviving situations that should have ruined you. You're going to find out why desperate individuals use your picture to traverse the world, why the unseen presence that watches over your life need explanations. How come every curse they attempted was like stones hurled at a mountain and bounced back? Haiti was home to the first shaman, a practitioner with decades of experience reading souls. They'd seen all there was to see in the spirit realm, encountered beings that would drive most folks insane, engaged in negotiations with interdimensional forces. They positioned your portrait in the middle of their altar, lighted their candles with the assurance of 60 years of skill, and set their instruments with surgical accuracy, just as they had done thousands of times before. Every candle flame extinguished as soon as they started the reading. From presence, not the breeze. The air itself seemed thick with old power as something enormous entered their holy area. They made an attempt to ignite the candles again. They were not going to remain illuminated. They could see their breath becoming clouds in the tropical heat as the temperature plummeted so quickly. Then they heard it. Not voices or words, but knowledge. Unadulterated data was downloaded straight into their minds. Because it existed before our rules were formed, your guardian does not abide by them. They abruptly halted the session, put the money back across the table, and informed their client that they were unable to assist them in understanding what protects them, since it functions in a way that is incomprehensible to humans. Some things are too big to chart, too old to list, or too strong to oppose. They didn't stop there, however. The customer had expected to fail. 11 additional shamans were waiting for them, more potent than the others. Each is breaching the curtain between worlds in a different manner, with diverse customs and methods. The second shaman was in Siberia's icy wilderness. They attempted something different. They tried using a shamanic trip to trace your lineage rather than simply sensing your energy. Create a spiritual genealogy map. Determine the precise time this protection started. They struck something like a wall each time they got close to your spiritual signature. It's more like standing at the brink of an ocean that never ends than a wall. Despite the below-freezing temperatures, the shaman emerged from the trance shivering, sweating, and uttering phrases that nearly corresponded to the first darkness. Deep into the Amazon jungle was the location of the third attempt. A plant medicine expert believed that holy plants may provide information that other approaches were unable to. Every participant in the ayahuasca rite experienced the same vision when your picture first appeared. A huge eye-opening in primordial darkness that was older than time itself and was amusing itself with cosmic glee. Half of the attendees of the event ran away. Others puked in sheer fear, while others were speechless for days. But it was becoming obvious what the message was. It wasn't only something old that kept you safe. You were a part of something that existed before people even understood what protection was. Their whole inquiry was altered by what they learned in those first 3 scans. They were not up against a person with strong spiritual defenses. Something else totally, something in human shape, was what they were dealing with. New Orleans was home to the 4th shaman, a practitioner who was said to have never seen a spirit that was unbargainable. They reasoned that they may be able to bargain with your guardian and provide knowledge in return for booze, riches, holy items, or even other souls. They set fire to their altar. Flames were blue, and they were frigid to the touch. A message was scorched into their wooden table after the smoke cleared. This has already been purchased and paid for. The practitioner grasped it right away. Deals didn't interest your guardian since it already had all it desired. Before you were ever conceived, the pact that was created for your protection was inked in cosmic ink. The trend was becoming indisputable by the 6th reading in Mongolia. Your guardian and you are one and the same. You are an ancient entity that is momentarily assuming human form. This lifetime is not the connection. It is integrated into your life on a level that goes back before incarnation. They were aware of their true situation at that point. Despite the hardships life presents, you are not surviving. It's causing you to change. In reality, every betrayal, assault, every instance in which someone attempted to break you is eliminating your limiters, much like removing safety locks one by one. Something that altered everything was revealed in Egypt, Ireland, and Japan in the 6th through 8th readings. No mythology, pantheon, or spiritual taxonomy that humans have produced contains your protection. It predates the tales we tell. In the past, we had ideas to describe our protection or words to identify our concerns. However, this is what really frightened them. Unlike other guardian spirits, yours does not behave in the same way. It doesn't threaten, warn, or engage in negotiations. It just observes with boundless tolerance and reacts with cosmic accuracy. People do not become ill or cursed when they cross a line. They just shift. Their fortunes shift. Their thoughts wane. They begin to witness creatures that hunt in realms that most people deny exist. If this message resonated with you, please share this video so that others who have been selected may see it. It was Sage of the Ninth Shaman in Australia to pose a straightforward query. Why? They were unable to speak for days after receiving the answer in a dream. That began before the continent split, and this soul has labored to complete it. At that point, it became evident how big of a problem they were facing. You are not a random individual who is fortunate enough to have a strong guardian. Through every existence, every obstacle, and every decision to keep going in spite of everything, you are a sleeping force, a dormant power, a locked potential that gradually remembers itself. In India, the 10th reading attempted to use the Akashic records to uncover the past of your soul. In addition to being secret, your files are locked and actively protected by forces that compel cosmic librarians to take a back seat. All that was seen was a symbol that is not found in any language on Earth. With a warning pulse, clearance beyond human authority is needed for this file. Consider that. There is secret information in your spirit. Your human mind is only now starting to recall why you're carrying riddles that transcend universes and going around with cosmic top secret clearance. Your guardian was given the services of Russia's 11th shaman in return for information. Instantly, the temperature fell dramatically. The walls were covered in patterns of ice that resembled star maps. It was a straightforward and frightening message. We have every servant we need. We are awaiting the general's awakening. The general, that's you. The person who has been sleeping in human shape, experiencing human suffering, playing human games, and forgetting that they are here on assignment from powers that exist outside of pure time. The ultimate truth came to light in Mexico at the 12th and last reading. Those who hurt you are not punished by your guardian. It identifies them. They are also apparent to creatures that collect debts written in languages older than mathematics once they are marked. There's nothing old protecting you. Something old is you, the thing they believe to be your protector. This allows you to experience human limitations without unintentionally harming reality by momentarily separating your own power from your consciousness. You felt different every single moment. Each time you learned something you shouldn't have. You felt too old for your body in every situation. The real you is attempting to recall it. The forgetfulness of human birth is leaking through your cosmic essence. You are one of 12, as those 12 shamans found out. There are 12 ancient creatures dispersed over the earth. They're all dressed like humans. Everybody gradually realizing who they really are. When everyone in the group remembers, the curtain between dimensions vanishes rather than just thins when all 12 activate at the same time. You're curious in how to identify people who are similar to you. All around you, electronics are broken. Animals respond to your emotional state with recognition rather than fear. Like reality itself, probability bends around you to make room for what you need to happen. You have a lasting impact on a place's vitality. In actuality, areas where you have felt intense emotions turn into thin places. Years later, other sensitive people see it. You are more than simply a visitor to this earth. Its energy infrastructure is being rewritten by you. Most likely, you've experienced it all your life. That feeling that you're unique, that you don't quite fit in, and that you're not subject to the same rules as everyone else. You believe it to be psychology, trauma, or just strange behavior. No, it's your actual nature coming out in spite of all the efforts to keep you sleeping. Despite the momentary forgetfulness that results from selecting human form, your cosmic memory is emerging. Those 12 shamans have good reason to be afraid. They have foreseen the future. They have had a glimpse of the type of power that subverts the rules of physics, rewrites reality at the quantum level, and regards human limitations like a costume that can be taken off at the conclusion of a performance. You're not insane for feeling that way. It's okay if you don't fit in. You're not mistaken if you feel that reality is less solid around you than it is elsewhere. All you're doing is recalling your true self behind the human facade you have chosen to adopt. And those 12 shamans will appear prophetic in their fear when you recall everything, when that old thing that protects you no longer needs to conceal who you are. Because it's not simply protection you have. You have the kind of cosmic support that comes from being vital to something ageless and huge. Every obstacle you conquer makes your guardian stronger. You live through every betrayal. Every time everything tries to break you, you decide to keep going. You're right where you should be, just when you're supposed to be here, safeguarded by just what you need to do the task for which you came. The countdown has started. Every day, more and more of your cosmic essence comes through. Those coincidences are like breadcrumbs trailing you. Reality itself is adjusting to your awareness in that way. The lives of those who want you harm are abruptly falling apart. That is the universe removing things that are in your way. It's not only something old that keeps you safe. You're the old creature that has momentarily taken on human characteristics. Until you are prepared to recall why the cosmos itself works in your favor, you will remain shielded by your own forgotten power. Not only did those 12 shamans learn what keeps you safe, but they also learned who you really are. And that information is perhaps the scariest present anybody has ever been given, because they now realize that hurting you is not just risky, but also disastrous for the cosmos. Greetings from the truth. The sleeper is waking up. Their purpose is being recalled by the general. The ancient force that made the decision to restrict human potential is about to recall why it first arrived here. And those 12 shamans are the cosmic coal mine's canaries, alerting everyone to the impending emergence of something extraordinary that will shed its human garb and return to its real essence. The inquiry has over. The truth has come to light. 12 diverse traditions on 12 different continents have attested to your cosmic importance. They were curious as to what gives you such protection. They now understand, and they are afraid of what that understanding entails for everyone who ever believed they could destroy you, dull your light, or gain an advantage by keeping you little. However, there's more to that picture they chose. When they stole it, they didn't inform you. You recall that instance. It may have happened at work, a family get-together perhaps just someone using their phone to say smile. In a world full with pictures, you assumed it was random, harmless, and simply another digital snapshot. It wasn't arbitrary. The photographer who captured that particular picture was an expert in their field. They bided their time until your defenses were down. That moment when your human mask was sufficiently loosened to allow a little bit of your actual self to show through, when the camera caught more than just your face. This approach is known among professional spiritual photographers. They refer to it as soul capture. Most people's spiritual signatures are unintentionally captured by photography, constantly without being aware of it. However, this was strategic and intentional. For shamans to interpret your picture across continents, it had to contain enough of your true energy. They saw more than just your protective features in your shot. It turned into a conduit, a spiritual phone line that went straight to your energy field and connected 12 distinct practitioners. Thousands of miles away, they were affecting your soul each time they held that picture. When their sessions were over, the shamans began exchanging notes, not by the person who employed them, and not formally. Clandestine spiritual societies where practitioners exchange cautions about potentially hazardous meetings via their own networks. They made an unexpected discovery.